One extra.
You're going to hear this a lot, but Us is sensational.
Wow, that's a beautiful word. Thank you.
Truly sensational. For me, it's just incredible watching a horror movie knowing that the black people aren't going to die in the first 10 minutes. That's nice.
Yeah,
You know? You
yeah.
get to like 20 minutes in, you're like, oh,
We're still here.
black people still going strong. Really nice. I'm sure sort of everyone's seen the trailer by now.
You know how sometimes things line up? Coincidences? Since we've been up here, they've been happening more and more.
Us tells the story of a family who ultimately come face to face with themselves in monster form. What do you dig into? Like, where do you go to be as terrifying as you are in Us?
Well, you know, I was quite intimidated by this genre called horror and this responsibility to scare the bejesus out of people. And I had to kind of forget about that and just do my work as an actor. And it was about delving into this particular character's emotional baggage, really, and finding out and also looking at the darker parts of myself and, you know, the kinds of emotions and thoughts that often go kind of judged or ignored, suppressed. And this role gave me permission to really use those things, you know, rage and hurt and bitterness and that sort of stuff that we are so often discouraged from expressing.
You know how sometimes things line up?
Yeah.
You know, like coincidences. Since we've been here, they've been happening more and more. I feel like it means like she's getting closer.
Who? The mirror girl?
You don't believe me.
Because I knew you had range. People know you have range. But in this movie, I think you really demonstrated your range because the terrifying side of you is convincingly terrifying. All right. And we've seen you really draw on emotion in movies like 12 Years a Slave. Do you think this movie, though, is the furthest you've had to push yourself dramatically?
Oh, most definitely. This movie stretched me. It bent me. It cost me a whole lot. And it was not just because Red is terrifying and dark. It's because I had to be both the light and the dark, you know? Two characters in one film in the time it usually takes me to prepare for one character and then to hold down both sides of the argument, you know, to see things from one perspective and then to see things from the complete opposite. So I had to be judge and advocate for both characters. On any given day, I was being asked to, you know, switch from one to the other. So yeah, it was a full workout.
Is that quite heavy to walk away from a film like that as well? Because I felt like when Red was on camera, it was almost like there was an actual cloud over me. Do you kind of take that baggage away with you when you leave the set?
You know, it's interesting. I think the crew would agree with you. When Red was on set, when the Red family was on set, the set was so somber, so quiet. Everyone was whispering. Nobody was looking us in the eye. It was actually quite cool. So fascinating to see that, you know, happen every other day. And then when the Wilsons were on set, everything was jovial and everyone was kidding around.
Yeah.
But you know, I think one character was always the therapy for the other. So when I left this film, I was done. I didn't think about it at all. I mean, it was out of my system. I just left it all in the camera with Jordan. I dumped it on him. But it was exhausting, you know, to do both. And so I really think it was the exercise of doing both that saved me months of recovery.
There's a really scary voice that you do for Red, right? When you created this voice, was this the first voice you arrived at, or were there other voices that didn't make the cut?
Oh, there were many, but I was inspired by this condition called spasmodic dysphonia. And it's a condition that is brought about by trauma, sometimes emotional, sometimes physical, and sometimes just inexplicable, where your vocal cords start to spasm and they create this irregular, abrupt pattern of air. And so I had experienced some, just remain isolated in a room, festering until
You
I
wouldn't come
got-
out of that voice for the day.
No, I wouldn't.
So you would like order your coffee as red.
Yes.
Can we get a preview of Red ordering her
Never,
coffee?
never. It's over.
It's in the can.
It's in the can.
It's
Watch
done.
the movie.
Anyone who's seen Jordan Peele's last movie, Get Out, will know that Jordan has this incredible ability to articulate social commentary
Yes.
through film.
Yes.
And he does it again in Us, which I think kind of seems to explore the fact that we can be our own worst enemy. It seems to consider the fact that there's a bit of a monster inside all of us. When was the last time you had to let out your inner monster, Lupita?
Making this movie. I definitely had to. There was, when it was technically very, very, very challenging. And because, we were playing against ourselves. And so just the way in which things had to play out was so specific. And it took its emotional toll on me, And I definitely had a moment of rupture while making this movie.
Like, did you reach breaking point?
I did.
What was that like?
Not pretty. Jordan might tell you about him.
Who was on the
one
receiving
day.
end? Who was on the receiving end of that?
Oh, I don't want to go to jail.
All right, we will leave that there.
You people.
It's us.
This film it's kind of equal parts terrifying and funny, which was what really unsettled me. I kind of couldn't get comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, this is really funny. Okay, I'm terrified.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I think that nailed what scares me.
Yeah.
I'm scared by just being uncomfortable. What scares you? Like, what scares Lupita just in life?
Butterflies.
What?
Yeah, butterflies. I'm afraid of butterflies. I know, and that's kind of ridiculous, but I am. Butterflies, they have a reputation for being really beautiful, and having pretty wings and all that, and being kind of like heavenly. But when you look closely at a butterfly, it never loses its monster. Like, there's something just like creepy about a butterfly from up close. And I've always been scared of their dust. Because, in Kenya, we have these moths that are also very, very big, and their dust is poisonous. So I've always related the two. And I don't mess with butterflies.
So when you see a butterfly, you freak out.
I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just feel like I know you slightly better now.
Well, now I know some evil person's gonna send me like
Get
a
ready for the
box
box
of
of butterflies, Lupita. Landed on your doorstep any day now. For anyone who's considering taking a date to
Yeah.
see Us, is Us a good movie for a date night?
Yes, because you will get squeezed. Yes. Someone will hold you real tight.
True. Also, though, could be embarrassing for a guy who's trying to be like,
I know, and then he's like
Gangster.
pouncing on. Well, yeah. Well, it'll show. I feel like these days we're trying to get away from these very rigid notions of gender, right, and masculinity, and that's one of the things that this film explores with Winston's character, Gabe. He's the size and stature that you would expect to be the hero, the protector, and all that. But he's ill-equipped for this particular adventure that they're on.
Okay, let's call the cops.
I did. They're 14 minutes away.
What? 14 minutes? Okay. Jason, give me the bat.
What bat?
The baseball bat. The bat. There's one in the corner.
Here.
Thank you.
Gabe.
All right, hold on. I got this. Let's try this again.
Gabe.
No. All right.
Gabe!
I got this.
And I think he's a kind of a more relatable version of a father than the superhero with the metal breastplate or whatever, and so there's just a humanizing, and so I feel like it's cool. I think it would be cute if like my date freaked out and I had to comfort him.
was that an important part of the film to you then? Because I actually never thought of that until now. The fact that it does sort of disrupt
Yeah.
Hollywood's notion of masculinity? Because I felt like you were more the alpha than your husband in the movie. Was that something that was important to you when you read the script?
Yeah, I mean, I think the three-dimensionality of all the characters was extremely important to me. And I mean, Jordan blessed us with two of each, you know. The fact that both villain and hero get their light of, you know, their time in the sun kind of thing, you know, we hear from both of them equally, and they're well-rounded, you know. And yes, the family dynamic was really important, you know, creating, expressing or presenting a family that is dysfunctionally functional. You know, we recognize that, you know, the siding with one person, but there's still love, and there's all this playfulness, but there's also misunderstandings and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just relatable. And to have a man that is not fitting into some trope of what masculinity is also really important and really refreshing, you know.
That's dope. Well, we were talking about date night movies and whether Us is one. I hear that your first date night movie was Titanic.
Yes, it was.
What was your most recent date night movie?
Oh, that's a good question. My most recent date night movie?
Do you get to go on dates much?
Oh, we're just slipping into the personal. Very smart. Very, very smart.
Do you? How's your schedule set up for that?
I make time for the personal. I'll say that much.
You make time for the right one.
Yeah, I do.
That's all we're going to get on that,
Yeah,
isn't
that's it.
Oh,
That's
man.
it. You're good.
I
You're
felt
really
like we were
good.
close.
You were so close.
Oh, man.
But I caught you.
Oh, should I have gone softer? Was it too hard? Damn it.
It's like, yeah, you didn't cross the line. It's okay. It's okay.
We'll leave it there. Lupita, thank you so much for joining us today. Us out now.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that video. You made it to the end, so that's a good sign. You can check out similar videos by clicking the links on screen now. Drop us a like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe.